Quinns, come in.
Hearing you loud and clear, boss.
I'm getting confirmation that Serpento's boys are on the move, hacking into the chopper feed now. Right, they've taken control of the alley games in Sector D5, the warehouses in F5, the weapons district in D7 is going to be next.
What's the play?
We retake the warehouse tonight, guns blazing. Show we don't stand for this. Brendan?
Hello?
We also need some biscuits.
Right enough.
I'm in position.
Paul, boss, are you sure about this?
Make the play.
Oh, God, off. I think I've been shot. I've been shot, Paul. Paul, you got it. Oh, that's an organ. Oh my God. I almost blacked out, but not quite. Oh, I wish I could black out.
Paul, I have the biscuits. Repeat. I have the biscuits. They were on sale. Paul. Paul! Alright, in the last few weeks, Paul and I have looked at some lovely games. Games of trains, of trading, of pineapples and politics. Lovely games that anyone can play. But what if you're not anyone? What if you want something a little more red-blooded? Something that'll let you kill your friends. City of Remnants is a fantastic game about controlling a gang fighting across a day after tomorrow cityscape. A game where you and your friends aren't battling to kill each other, but for the most renown. But don't let that put you off. Your oil-slick fingers will scrabble for control of each and every city block as you try and wring everything you can from this sad, sorry town. You'll set up underground casinos and the slave trade in your miserable empire. You will stuff your soldiers with cheap amphetamines as if they were adult piñatas.
Yes, now, City of Remnants is from a publisher called Played Hat Games, who are fast developing a reputation for being inventive in theme and design, and City of Remnants is no different. The city that you're fighting in has been conquered by a hostile, cold, alien robot race called the and the currencies that you play with are called alien refugee credits. Thank you very much. The currency that you play with is called alien refugee credits. There are 4 different factions vying for control of the territory, and though they can work together, they prefer to be separate, and the resentment between them is hinted at on the cards in the game, and the flavour text that crops up every time you play anything.
Yes, the theme of the game isn't found in the manual or some tie-in movie. It lurks, as it should do, in the game itself. The wonderful art of the cards, the names of places, even the rules. Take this. Something your gang can buy is a computer terminal. Not a xylobyte mainframe, but just a computer. And it shows up out of the black market. It's rare, it costs a bomb, and it makes your gang more organised just at the start of every turn. See how much that tells you about the world? Like Paul says, it's subtle, and it makes you feel respected as a customer, and in turn it makes you respect the craft that went into making this world.
And all of that is very nice, but it doesn't really have that much to do with the game itself. The game is, well, it's more of a series of mini-games, smaller games that interlock like cogs in heavy machinery, their teeth biting together and driving the whole experience forward like so much heavy industry.
Yeah, the question of how you actually play City of Remnants and dominate these mean streets is...
Well, it's fairly straightforward.
It's not easy to answer.
Well,
I suppose it's simple.
There's just a lot of it.
Well, there's 5 bits of it.
On your turn you can do one of 5 things.
But which do you do?
Right, so that's why, because Quinns and I have
We've set up Gang School...
School for Gang. Gang School. Gang School.
Lesson 1. Moving.
On your turn, you can move gang members up to 3 spaces. If they move into a space with a rival gang member, there's a fight.
Lesson 2. Recruiting. You can also spend your turn beginning an open auction for a gang member of your choice. Try not to get a crap one like a child. Lesson 3. Developing.
pay some money to construct a development, the selection of which will change every turn. You've got things like thieves' districts and illegal casinos and legal... I guess everything is illegal, and maintaining control of these developments is how you win the game.
Lesson 4. Selling! With this action, you can sell resource tokens, which... Oh, hang on, we haven't covered that. Lesson 3. Developing and producing.
When you take a develop action, all of your industrial spaces that you already control develop a resource which you can sell, which with a sell action, which we already said.
Lesson 5. Buying.
Finally, you can take a buy action and buy something from the available equipment cards. That could be something like a smoke bomb or some broadcasting equipment or a war drone or there are lots of other things.
So on your turn, you just do one of the 5 things written down on your player map. There's a little bit to get the hang of, but basically it's all hit... hang on, we forgot something.
What?
Lesson 6. Refresh.
Ah yes, the refresh action, which lets you discard cards from your hand, draw replacements from your draw deck, and most importantly, put all your discard pile back underneath your draw deck.
Should we explain the cards?
I don't know.
Lesson 0. Your deck.
Now you'll have noticed that everything in City of Remnants is represented. Can we stop the music?
Oh God, yeah.
Thanks. You'll have noticed that everything in City of Remnants is represented by a card, whether it's gang members or equipment or whatever. And as you're amassing gang members and collecting assets and buying stuff to use, you'll end up with more cards than a gang boss on their birthday, slipping each new one into your deck quietly, silently. Then, at the start of your turn, you'll draw 4 of these cards, look at them, play whatever you're going to play, and then that goes quietly, uselessly into your discard pile.
Yeah, so what's great is that as you use these cards for their special abilities, or drop whole handfuls of them into fights, your gang becomes scattered. This is excellent thematic stuff. You begin drawing cards blindly off the top of your deck, and you don't know if you're going to get some ferocious warrior or the aforementioned kid with some broadcasting equipment. And finally, when you have no cards left to draw at all, then your gang is on the ropes, and they have absolutely nothing behind them. So the refresh action simply represents your gang getting organised again, putting the right bodies on the right corners.
Yeah.
And that's City of Remnants, isn't it?
Yeah, that's City of Remnants.
Yeah, that's basically it. And so, yeah, the only other thing is that at the beginning of each turn, you'll draw a number of cards equal to your influence.
Lesson minus
-1. Influence.
Yes, you do win by controlling developments to get renown, but you also have influence, which represents how much people listen to you right the hell now. And you gain influence by spending money, or by having 5 developments under your control at once, or by having 10 gang members spread across the board, or by controlling 2 of these key green developments in this prestigious center area of the city. We haven't explained the different coloured zones.
Oh, come on! The next lesson is green development. Alright, look here. Okay, so you've got the 3 different colours. You've got the red slums and the blue midtown and the green uptown, and the corresponding developments can only be built on the sectors, and there's not very many green developments, but they're worth lots more. Do you see? Risk reward, because when you come out from your entry zone, it becomes more valuable, but you're more spread thin, more easier for other players to take it from you, which is really clever. Plus, the police often Gang school has been closed because
police. Right, look, every turn you draw a f***ing card and has f***ing robot police on, and you draw them out of the f***ing bag and they land somewhere on the f***ing map, and sometimes that means you have to fight them, and that makes more robot police appear. Okay, shut up.
Are you okay?
Don't touch me. So there's a lot going on in this game, and it's not so much that there's a lot, it's more that these things are intimately connected. The intelligence in this game's design is how much everything relates to everything else. Everything's bound together like a room full of hostages in a downtown warehouse.
Let's get our big complaint out of the way quickly so we can go back to talking about how much we like City of Remnants. Okay, so the truth is that for a game which has midriffs and katanas on the cover and some of these little plastic men carrying miniguns, the game is significantly more nuanced and difficult to get your head around than we expected. All of these systems vie for your attention with similar force, and so in players' initial turns when they first learn the game after the rules explanation, it's like watching people step out onto a frozen lake. I race for the middle, I build a development, I by a man. The truth is you need to develop literacy in these beautiful systems. You need to learn that police are scary if you don't have cards. Bidding for gang members is great if you can actually outbid everybody. And then the middle is wonderful if nobody else goes for it. Your first entire game of City of Remnants will be a learning experience, which is not ideal. It'll take time until you're playing this game on the satisfying level it was intended.
And not like an idiot.
And not just like an idiot.
Just throwing it out, putting it out there,
all
throwing
right,
it out.
You won, I get it.
Now, last year we reviewed Mage Knight, and we said, yes, it's a complex, clever game, but it's a bit slow. City of Remnants is sleeker, and those cogs with their teeth, they bite deeper, they spin faster, and every turn you can have some new realisation about these interlocking systems, about how to exploit them, to use them in some new way.
Perhaps it's turn 6 and you've been watching your opponent, you've been seeing as he discards cards for their special abilities until he only has one left, while your own is a meticulous A-team of warriors and soldiers and dealers, and you attack, sure, in your assault.
But that meticulously managed final card is a smoke bomb, and it's off, baby. It's off.
At which point these soldiers, they vanish, they can go anywhere on the board, they appear in your soft industrial underbelly, and suddenly you've got these two guys performing nighttime raids. How are you going to deal with them?
Smoke bomb.
City of Remnants.
Smoke bomb.
City of Remnants.
But City of Remnants isn't just a game of cards, it's also a game of rolling dice, and dice are cool, aren't they? They've got stuff on them. The thing is, when you have a fight, you roll dice for your miniatures, not only in the fight, but also the miniatures who are in the sectors nearby, who provide support for these dudes. This raises all kinds of wargamey-like questions, like, where do I want to deploy people now? Do I want to hold these sectors so they can produce, so they can make money, so they can give me renown? Or do I want to reposition so that I can actually win a fight? And it's all suddenly a game of positioning and tactics and choices and questions to tickle your brain with, and I'm very ticklish right now.
You know, we haven't talked about the really evil thing yet.
What's that?
Gang death.
Ooh.
When you lose a fight, yeah, you have to lose the miniature. A death has occurred, and that's painful. But also, you have to lose a card out of your deck. And it has to be a card that was played in that fight, which means if you're drawing cards blindly, there's always the possibility that your gang leader's going to end up alone down an alleyway and he's going to be shot and killed. Battles in this game are terrifying, as they should be. And worse, let's say you make a bold attack moving 3 people into a sector, just to be sure. Well, what happens if you lose? Are you really going to lose 3 miniatures and 3 cards? Ow! The entire thing is just so tense. Really, City of Remnants is a game about trying to retain control of something that is so chaotic and colourful and random that you can't, except on the moments that you can.
Well, of course you can, because if you have a good plan, if you have ploys, the game does reward planning, it does reward intelligence, but at the same time it throws in enough random events to keep everyone on their toes.
Like the police.
Like the police,
So when the
who
police
never feel unfair.
Yeah, this is dark board game science, but the fact is the police arrive on entirely random grid references and they're going to land, and that means some players are just going to get hurt more than others. And you don't care. Why is that?
Well, you don't know, and if it happens to you, then it's going to happen to someone else next turn, probably, or maybe not.
It's funny. It's theatre for everyone else, really, that someone leaps into the middle and sets up a club and police immediately
fits in the
just
theme
kick
of
down
the
the door.
game,
Yeah,
and
because you
that's
know
the
what?
thing.
Thug life is unfair. I grew up on the streets and...
Tell you what.
What?
Asymmetry, though. You
that's
like a bit of that.
I love asymmetry. I love the fact that all the gangs are different. You've got the steely guys and the angry guys. The fact that all the different gang members, those numbers on the left, they all refer to how well this guy operates in different gangs.
He didn't grow up on the streets.
And you like it because it's replayable, don't
Right,
you?
well, this is it. You have a new selection of buildings every time you play. Obviously, being a card game, a game of decks and shuffling, there's always new stuff that's going to appear.
But
You
also
never
there's
know
new
what's gonna
buildings,
happen
aren't
when.
there?
Well, yes, of course. You've got junkyards and you've got thieves.
But in any given game,
Waters,
you're not going to be playing with
casinos.
all the different buildings
So you
that are
don't
on
even know
offer.
what the setup's going to be and how good those are going to be for your gang, your
Oh, now-
asymmetrical gang.
And also, if you just...
God.
Look, that's the 3-player side of the board. Some things are sort of walled off, so you can be here and here and here, and it's fair, because obviously on the other side, it's good for 2 or 4. This is Plaid Hat at their best. It's just so thoughtful.
Right, I guess we're done.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love City of Remnants. What do you think?
I like it a lot. I'm not as excited by the theme, but I think it's a very good game. I think it's very intelligently designed, and it's definitely one of the smartest things I've seen this year so far.
Yeah, Shut Up and Sit Down recommends.
Anyway, no, we've got to check on Brendan. I feel kind of bad. We've left him for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Brendan! Brendan, how are you doing?
Oh yeah, no, I'm fine now.
Are you making a recovery?
Better than ever. No, I've actually got a new boss now. Yeah.
Do it. What did he say?
I don't know, he hung up, he said he had a new boss.
No, surely not. He couldn't have been hired by Tabletop.